I have to say, you know, it's to see the recent terrible events in Japan has been very, very upsetting. And everybody felt, our hearts went out to you, to the people in Japan for the terrible disasters that you've suffered.
Certainly, it was nice to be able to re-release the song on this relief album, which I think has renewed our bond with Japan. Konbanwa, Brian May desu.
Roger Taylor desu. Mina genki?
Tonight's Songs features the music of Queen.
Please enjoy this program all the way to the end.
Kampai! And I remember distinctly the Budokan, and they told us we would go on, and they said, don't worry, because the audience will be very quiet, and they will sit in their seats. We went on, and there was this avalanche of people sort of seething. They'd all got out of their seats, and they were screaming, and it was just, we were amazed, weren't we, really?
Yeah, it was fantastic and unforgettable, and from then on, as Japan has always had a very special place in our hearts.
And we were fascinated, and I think we were all fascinated by how far we could push things. You know, I think our heroes were the Beatles, you know, who used the studio to its full extent. We had a bit of an advantage in a sense because the studio had evolved slightly further by the time we were in there. So we had more toys, more things, more colours to paint with, and we just used everything that came in we would use as one of the building blocks.
I guess we didn't want to do just the same thing again and again and again. So we felt the need to change a little, and just to keep ourselves interested, and hopefully to keep the audience interested and maybe have a new audience.
I think we sort of knew what was happening and yet refused to believe it, I sense. But there was a particular moment where Freddie got us together and said, look, you probably know what I'm dealing with. And basically, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to change anything that we do. I want to go on making music till the very end. And I'd rather not make this an issue. I don't want people buying our records because having sympathy for me or something. So I want everything to continue as normal. We are Queen, and that's the way we want to be.
And I think that brought us closer together because we would be locked away in the studio, and Freddie wanted to work as much as he could. It kept his mind focused on that, on work, and not on more unpleasant things. And I think it was very good for him. And I think it was very good for us as a group. And to be closer together under those terrible circumstances, really, you know. He was very brave, and he bore his horrible illness very bravely.
We would work long days and nights just listening to Freddie's voice, and of course he wasn't there. So it was a very strange thing to go through. But in the end, very joyous, because I know he would have loved the fact that we made the most out of what he left.
He was great. He was fun to be around. He was lively, and he had focus. He, you know, always buy the best, dear, you know, and don't be content with second best. And he had a lot of go about him, joie de vivre, and he was a very good person to know. Yeah.
He was a free spirit, and there aren't very many of those in the world. Freddie was strong enough not to worry about pleasing everybody. He just wanted to please himself, and he wanted to make the best of himself and give the best of himself, and nothing could get in his way. And that's a great model.